3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Hunters Hub. This is your host, Fortuan. Forgot to say that we are a video game podcast born in the Monster community, and this is Sasha. Welcome back. How you doing?
I'm alright. I'm a little tired, but ready to turn off my work brain. How have you been?
I've been okay. We've been really busy. We're still recovering from Dad falling 4 feet onto concrete 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
So
that's a lot.
that was. We went back to that job site with him today. So we were like, okay, so here's the pit. Don't walk near it. Don't go near it. Like, we're good. He actually, if he sneezes right now, he like almost collapses from pain. And we're pretty sure
No.
we're pretty sure
rough.
he's broken some ribs. I've been hounding him to go to the doctor and he will not. So
You mean he hasn't gone yet?
nope.
Why?
Because he is stubborn and he's like, his opinion is they're going to go to the doctor and say we can't do anything about it, so just take it easy. And he's like, I knew it. That's going to happen.
And that's why he's definitely been taking it easy, right?
Yeah, I mean he has to a degree, but I have been getting on him about certain things. It's like, yeah, don't go for that 5-mile walk today, Dad. Just don't do it. I get it. You're in this walking spree. I get it. Feels good. It doesn't feel good afterwards, though, does it?
Wow.
So
I feel like it wouldn't feel good even if you didn't have broken ribs.
I don't know. I've learned to enjoy walking a long distance these days. Then I don't know. I used to be in track and I hated it. So, but as an adult,
Because that's circles. Just walking in circles. A walk
Yeah.
is nicer than that.
it's true. It is. We go to the flood wall, and I went the better way on the flood wall. Although it had some good pictures the other way. It's just super windy. But that aside, how you doing, Morg? Welcome.
Oh boy. I had to complete 4 different claim forms today. They were crazy. There was a shortage, an overage, a mispick, and then quality control. And I had to do it all in a single sitting. Oh my gosh. It was a lot of fun.
Paperwork.
I love my job.
The best.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh. Technically, I'm doing as much as as an assistant manager does for the produce department, but apparently I'm only a clerk. But no, today I'm happy that I finally get to kick back and talk about mindless games,
Mindless games. Well, speaking of
mobile
which,
games.
we're going to be
Yay.
talking about mobile games tonight. We're going to talk about some ones we actually like in the sea of terribleness. And Ace isn't here tonight. He's got family visiting. Thankfully, it's not a family emergency, which we didn't really go into the details for your stuff, Sasha. I didn't know how you felt about that, but people knew stuff went down for you, so they just
Yeah.
don't know what, which is fine.
I mean, it wasn't thankfully anything too crazy. I learned my child has asthma.
Yeah.
Which is a scary experience for every parent the first time you learn your child has asthma. So I had to spend a couple of days at Children's Hospital, which was a lovely experience, and that's not sarcasm. I have to say, every emergency room should be so comforting as a children's emergency room. And yeah, I've had a crazy week this week making up for the missed time because I have a very important job and it doesn't stop when life decides that I have to stop working. So finally caught up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. My work involved a lot of driving, a lot, because we had a lot of projects stack up and stack up and stack up, because we do this thing where we don't have a lot of work and then we do a lot of sales calls and then they all come in at once. So then Thursday, I think, was the worst. So 2 days ago, we drove to West Union, which for me, living near Chillicothe, to describe the
I know where West Union is. I remember when I used to visit my grandma, we would go to West Union to go to some of the better stores.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so we have a customer in West Union, which is, for me, about halfway to Cincinnati, which Cincinnati is 2.5, 3 hour drive. So it was like 1.5 hour drive to, to one. We then left West Union to go to Lancaster, which, if you do that, that is an hour drive north of where I'm at, and West Union is west. So we actually had to drive past my town of Waverly and Chillicothe and drive through up to Lancaster and back. So,
oh boy,
we put about 200 miles on the car that day.
Yeah, hope you listened to some good podcasts.
I did not. I listened to music the whole time because my brother hates when I listen to podcasts in the car because he doesn't like hearing partial of it. But, or my audiobooks. That's the other thing I would like doing, is listening to my audiobooks. And he just is like, I don't want to hear part of a story. And I'm like, okay, fine. We'll listen to my mix, which, doesn't run out in that amount of time. With 300 songs on it, it doesn't run out. So, but I do get some repeats every once in a while. Especially, I have this weird thing where my playlist. I don't know if you guys have Androids. Do you? Are you guys iPhone people?
I got a Nokia
person because I don't hurt the people I love.
So, I have this problem with the Samsung Music app that it prefers to, like, if I stop the car, get out, do something, which we normally do, I get back in the car, it actually, per the randomization, even though it's still shuffled and randomized, prefers a song you've already heard. So I can have, and it happens very often, that I will have, like, listen to a song, get out of the car, it'll play, like, 2 new songs when I get in the car, and then it'll play the song that it ended on. So for some reason, it favors something it's already played again. Like, it goes back through the list backwards. So I'm just like, nope, hit shuffle again and let it refigure out its life. So I had a couple annoyances of that.
Life is not better on the iPhone side. My husband's, every time he gets in the car, it plays the first song that's in alphabetical order in his library, which is A Favorite House Atlantic. Every time. So not his favorite thing to hear.
Yeah.
Every time he gets in the car.
Well, I have a specifically curated playlist. I have more than 300 songs on the phone, but it's something, well, it's what I call the Cham Jam. Is just like whatever I'm listening to recently. And yeah, more try not to laugh on that one. Hey, I can't help that my nickname rhymes with it. But I have everything, a lot of video game remix stuff on there, but I can't help it if Diggy Hole comes on, the I Am a Dwarf and Digging a Hole song, which is not normally within my wheelhouse because it's metal, but I love that song. So if that comes on a couple times, I'm okay, because that's just fun. And actually, my dad likes that one too, but my dad's a metalhead, so that makes sense. So I subject my family to my music when I'm driving, because I'm the one that drives all the time. I don't like Dad's road rage, and Chance drives like a grandma. So here we are. Like, Dad almost ran someone off the road on Main Street, and it was this old lady in Chillicothe. I was like, what are you doing? It's just an old lady. Like, she didn't even notice she cut you off. He's like, oh, she'll notice now. And I'm like, dude, no.
That's how I drive. Yeah.
I tell him, you're no longer, if I'm in the car, you're not allowed to drive. I'm driving now.
I'm a Michigan driver, so we all drive like that. Everyone does.
I am patient. I am very patient when I drive. Someone will cut me off.
We drive like that, even in the snow.
Just slipping, sliding around, fist out the window in a 360.
No, I'm just driving in snow mode.
No, okay.
So, but still pissed off because no one else is.
Gotcha. So, well, glad things are better.
Yeah.
We had a good discussion of what we've been playing, and for me, it was mostly Call of Duty, and it's still mostly a Call of Duty. And then we actually got to see Ace's son. He didn't show it on the podcast, but afterwards he showed his kid. And actually, the kid made his first audio appearance too. Right at the end of the episode, you can hear it. He does a little coo or something.
Aww.
It's pretty cool.
That's nice.
Yeah. So yeah, mobile games. The games that we occupy ourselves when we don't have our Switch ready or handy is the way I put it, because that for me is what a Switch is for, is on the go. However, I'm not allowed to take a Switch to a job site. However, I am allowed to take a phone. So here to talk about some mobile games. I have 3 to talk about. I think Sasha, you said 3 as well. Morg, did you end up finding 3 or you?
I think I might have found maybe a few more than that.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6.
Well,
okay.
I mean, like if we're talking noteworthy ones, then definitely 3. But yeah, outside of that, no.
That's okay. One of mine doesn't exist anymore, but I still want to talk about it because I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to talk a little bit after that about mobile games we want to see and what we'd like to see in mobile games and that kind of stuff. So kind of mixing our style of what we want to see versus one of our list episodes. So next week, hopefully we'll have everybody and we'll do the quiz. If we don't have everybody next week, and we will probably still do the quiz because we're getting close to Thanksgiving, and then I don't know if we're going to do a Thanksgiving episode. I don't think. I mean, I'll be available, but in Morg, that's not Thanksgiving for you. So we might just do a you and me show if Sasha and Ace are too busy. So, because it is a holiday weekend. We'll see. We haven't discussed that. But
I don't know if we're doing 2. I don't think I'm doing 2 Thanksgivings because we're hosting Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving.
Ooh.
So I might be available, but keep you posted.
Yeah, for sure. But it's entirely understandable if not, because it is a major holiday here. So mobile games. So I will lead us off, and I will talk about the tragedy and the amazingness that is something called. I played this back in 2017 and 2018, and I played it for about a year. It was called Hellfire: The Summoning. And if you've never heard of this game, because it doesn't exist anymore, it was a really fun game for me because it was one of the few mobile games that actually involved some skill, but it wasn't like a lot of skill. It wasn't like, how intricate can I trace my finger on the phone kind of skill. It was like electronic skee ball. So you were playing like skee ball on your phone, but it was like fantasy themed. So what you would have is, it's this gotcha game. So you're like getting like fake currency that I didn't have to buy any, but you could buy the fake currency. You get these units that increase your skee ball's attack power, and you're skee balling them at targets, which are the bad guys, for amounts of damage. And there were elemental weaknesses. I'm a sucker for elemental weakness because of Pokemon. Like, if something has like I'm a lightning type and that's a water type and I'm going to demolish you. It's mostly nature versus water in these mobile games because they all tend to have the same themes or whatever. And they're like dark versus light, and light hurts dark and dark hurts light. And like, it was as generic as you can get on stuff on that kind of front. So what you had is, you had 3 balls that you could shoot, and then it would be their turn to attack you at your health. They would all do an attack, and sometimes they had special attacks that did more. And then each of your skee balls had 5 units you could assign to it, and and it would mix the elements. It would be the amount of elements of the units that were in those rows. So you basically had 15 units that you kept track of and leveled them up and yada yada, everything else with mobile games. This is like as predatory as other mobile games are. There wasn't anything special about it. It still had like holiday events that was like, buy the special Halloween pack and get this super special rare 5-star monster. Like, it had everything of a gacha game, but I loved it. And part of the reason is I got one of those super rare 5-star monsters on like a random no money pack, and it was a Hydra. And if you guys know me, Hydra's my monster. I love Hydras. I have a whole collection of Magic cards that is just Hydras. That is the only thing I collect in Magic. I can get it, Morg. You want to see it? Or have I showed you
please.
That? All right, hold on.
I don't think I've actually seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta see this.
I'll be right back. It's just right over here, but I can't reach it with the headphones on.
Yep.
So, my love for Hydras, I guess it came from the Jason and the Argonauts, the old movie that had like a claymation Hydra.
Yep.
I loved that movie as a kid, and Hydra was like the big fight. So, this binder, there are 2 of them, is the nicer one, but this is the first Hydra that ever appeared in Magic. It's terrible. Don't play it. It's called a Rock Hydra. It loses counters instead of gaining them. But each page is the next Hydra chronologically that Magic released. And I attempt to get 9 to fill a page. So...
My God, that's a lot of Hydras.
You get, like, open the years and you start to see stuff like my favorite one, Kalanian. This goes all the way. I even have the Joke Hydra that is just a fusion card that is just multi-headed.
Oh my God. That is so funny.
Oh, and here's the other one, the Hydra Doodle. So it's a Hydra Poodle. And that extends into the second book, which is the modern ones. Which starts off with my 1 commander deck commander. Gygax.
Yeah.
the Waker of Corpses. And then all the way up until I have 1 layer of the Hydra. And then Briar Hydra, which is the most recently released one. I'm missing one. I'm missing one of the new Hydras called the Shivian Devastator. And that is the one Hydra I don't have from Magic. And that's the only thing I follow Magic for anymore. But all that to say, that kind of hooked me into this game. And then I was like, oh, I get to play like skee ball. And it actually had some sort of like accelerator on program that understood how fast you were swiping. So if you went really fast, it went to the far back line. And if you did it slower, it'd be in the front. And the better you hit the target, the more centered, it did more damage. So it wasn't just a gotcha as much as it also was somewhat based on your swiping skills.
Okay.
Which the only thing I understand that swiping skills are used for anymore on apps or dating apps, and you get tired of swiping left on those. So, I really liked it. Like, I liked it a lot. Now, it's an interesting story of how this came to be. There was a big event. I was part of I was really excited for the event because every week we had a big event. I was like, oh, this event is going to be good. I'm really set up for this event. I'm going to do well. And the event didn't fire. In fact, the whole game just sort of stopped working. And I was like, what is going on? Well, recently, as in the day before, Nintendo had announced that it was working with Project DENA to make all of its Nintendo games, including the Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, I think Fire Emblem Heroes, like that big. Remember that that big thing Nintendo announced. They're like, we're not acquiring, but we're working with DNA to get the stuff. DNA was the company who made this game. A lot of people put 2 and 2 together. DNA closed all of their non-Nintendo games, and it was part of Nintendo's contract to do so they could focus development on the Nintendo games. So, as much as I liked the Switch and Nintendo, it killed my favorite mobile game. And it was, for a long time, and I mean a long time, the only one I ever enjoyed. So, that is the story of Hellfire the Summoning, which no longer exists. Thank you, Nintendo. So, Mark, hit us up with one of yours.
Oh boy, I think what we should bring up. Oh, this is an oldie. Now, does anybody remember like the good old days of like, you know, going online and then going to like those big like flash game video game sites, like, you know, the really cheap ones that were like made from
like Newgrounds,
or like 3 Foot Ninja, Stick RPG, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well,
wasn't there an Archer one? I loved that Archer one. There was one you got to shoot.
Yeah, that one was really good too.
Arrows.
Yeah. As it turns out, I found one of like the old classic games. It's Stick Wars. They actually have that as a mobile game in the App Store. Like, I can actually find it in the Play Store on Android. It's awesome. Like, I got Stick War Legacy, and yeah, I don't know why I enjoy it so much. I love it. It's really, really fun. And they even have like well, there's like the main campaign. You can do like online competitive battles. You can get like if you work towards it, you can eventually get like new skins for all your different units and stuff like that. So in that way, they'll be able to get like additional abilities based off of the skins that they get. It's completely free. You could choose to buy it if you want.
I don't know if you can see, but there it is. I found it. I just
oh my god! Yes, you found it. Yeah, there's a bunch of different versions of Stick War. Anyways, like there's I think it goes all the way up to 3, and I'm not sure if like there's if number 3 is still in development, but it gets better as you keep going up. But yeah, I've played the original one, Stick War Legacy, and like the fact that they also have like zombie waves is really fun. Oh boy. Oh, and you can also like as you're progressing through the game and you're playing more of it, you can unlock like special bonuses and stuff like that. Like you can summon additional like mining blocks for your miners to get. You can increase the speed rate and like the mining rate of your miners. You can get like rain of arrows, or you can get it so in that way your hoplites, which are like the shield and spear guys, to like toss their spears at the guys and then come at people with like basic like scimitars and stuff like that. There's you can summon literally like a giant like juggernaut, like you can like summon like a giant zombie or whatever. Like there's a bunch of things that you can do in that game, and it's so fun. It's one of those few games that I actually didn't pay money for, where I actually got the full experience, and I really enjoyed playing that game. It was really fun game when I was first getting into it.
Okay, how's the pay model on it? Because that's always the big problem.
It almost doesn't exist.
Okay.
It's amazing. The game is pretty much a complete package to itself. You don't have to pay for anything. You can, I mean, like, choose to pay for like certain things, but like they're not necessary for you to be able to get like a full experience of the game. It's honestly probably one of the best free games that I've ever played.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I think I did play that on the Flash game sites back in the day too. I don't remember being particularly attached to it, but it's cool that it's still out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, I was really surprised that it's like still like a full functioning game. And in fact, the people who it's not like the original game, but it was a reverse engineered and then reconstructed, so that way you can play it on mobile.
Mm-hmm.
And it does have like some pay features, like most mobile games do, but it's not essential for you to be able to get the full experience of the game. And then I believe that was for the original one. Then there's, I think, a 2 and a 3. And as far as I've seen, I've only played, I think, Legacy and the third one. The third one actually allows you to be able to get like unique bonuses and upgrades in an upgrade tree for each of your units. So it's taken things like a step further past having to save up like coins and stuff like that from playing the game in order to be able to purchase skins in the shop in order for your units to get like special abilities, like say getting like the necrotic skin in order to make it so that whenever your units die, they come back as zombies or skeletons, or them getting fire armor, so in that way whenever they take damage, their opponents take passive damage for, you know, how much damage that they deal to your units, so on and so forth, and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty good. I would definitely recommend it for people to give it a try.
Okay. Alrighty. All right. That's a solid one. Sasha, how about you?
Well, I think I've talked about this one before, but BitLife, which is text-based
The
Sims. To start with, it's one single purchase. It is a free game, but you can pay, I think it's like $10, and you get rid of all the ads, and you can do stuff like switch, like legacy mode. And then after that, there's no more purchases, so that's nice. You also don't need to be connected to the internet to play it. So, like, I was sitting in the hospital with my kid, I was playing BitLife.
Yeah.
So I was playing. I was not being very nice of a person while I was playing BitLife. I was a little stressed out, but it made me feel better.
Taking it out on Pixel people.
Yeah, so I started off as I was a little boy in the United States, and I decided that I was going to torture every teacher I ever had and every boss I ever had, and I never made it in any kind of career. Somebody tried to kill me. I survived an assassination attempt.
Oh my God. What?
Yeah, my mom disowned me, and I couldn't get any like real relationships because of my attitude and people not liking me. And I died a lonely old person with no children and no money and no career. I couldn't even like legacy after that.
Oh my
God.
Which I guess is not as bad as like I had this one character where I had a very successful life. I went to school. I did really well. I went to business school. I was an entrepreneur. I made a ton of money. I had kids. My kids really didn't like me because I worked all the time. But then, like, I just decided in my 50s that I was going to start cheating on my wife, and I got a sexually transmitted disease, and I gave it to her, and then she left me, and then she was taking all my money and alimony, so I put a hit out on her, and she survived, so I went to prison, and I died in prison with no money.
Oh my God.
In a prison fight.
Yeah, in a prison fight in my 70s or 80s. Like, I was really old. And, yeah.
Oh my God.
Holy cow.
So, you know, the sky's the limit with BitLife.
It
really
is
what I'm getting at.
It is on it is certainly on Android. So I might have to try this out because it sounds like hilarity fuel. That's one of the things I've been saying is like there's so not as many comedic video games. Like I talked about this near the end of last week's episode because I've been playing 2 Point Hospital, which is a comedic video game about hospital management, and you know because it's got stuff like lightheaded syndrome where their head is a literal light bulb and you screw it off and then you put a real head on and stuff like
Operation.
Yeah. and there's advanced bed face, I think is what they call it. So you have to go to the ward, and the nurse has to teach you how to sleep, I think is the cure for it. It's just a goofy game, and you'll have like the PA announcements if you have an assistant at the desk, and you'll just hear just announcements every once in a while like you do in a hospital, but most of the time they're just jokey nonsense. They're like, one of the ones was like, I'm pretty sure that you're the only one here that can hear this, so hi. It's just stuff like that. Like, it's just nonsense and just one-liners and jokes, and I just love it. So some levity from BitLife, which I just hit install on. We'll see how that goes. I enjoy a comedic game.
It's one of the few games that I just went ahead and I paid for because I was enjoying it so much. I'm like, you know what? You guys deserve my $10, or I think it was 10. If it was less than that, I think $10 is reasonable for the amount of time I put in.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I will say in general, if I'm playing a game and I'm enjoying it at least a little bit, and there is a buy no ads, I have done it several times. And then later on, I uninstalled that game because I was tired of it. But I will buy the no ads. Because I'm like, yeah, whatever. I played it for like a month. I'm good. I spent most of the time it's like $5 or $10. And it's just like, I'm good. Not like I spent like a $60 game and then dropped it after. Well, I do that too. Buy a $60 game and drop it after like 3 hours sometimes. And I'm just like, nope, wasn't worth it. Of course, in the most recent that happened, that was Mass Effect Andromeda. And that was only $5. So, however,
$5 is a steal for that.
I know. I wasn't feeling that one as much as I liked, because we're scheduled to do that talk this Friday. We talked about that on the show a while ago. Sasha, Brian, and I are going to have a in-depth discussion on the Mass Effect trilogy Friday. I don't know what time yet, but Friday we're gonna do a what we call a bickering bonus is the show, because we do the bickering bucks with Brian and everyone, and we're just gonna focus on a specific game and talk about it. And this one's gonna be 3 games, but yeah, you can cheat and say it's one game because I did play it in a trilogy.
I mean, you can't really talk about one without the other two.
No, you can't. It's like talking about the Lord of the Rings movies as separate movies. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. They're definitely like it's a full set, like all together. Like you have to have them all together.
Right, yeah, because if you just leave off at the Fellowship of the Ring, it's like, okay, so all this stuff and the Hobbits just fuck off in the woods? All right, cool. That was a great movie, wasn't it? Like, can you imagine how mad people would be if that was the end of Lord of the Rings? The Hobbits just go off in the woods. That's it. Done.
Oh my god.
Nothing resolved.
That would be the most unsatisfying experience ever.
Exactly. That's kind of what it would be like if you just stopped at the end of Mass Effect 1 or 2. Like, there's still a very obvious thing going on that still needs to be resolved.
You mean like releasing the 5th book in a really well-established book series and then not releasing the next book for more than 10 years and a whole TV show comes out and ruins the ending?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That sounds an awful lot like a certain series. Would this series happen to have accidentally been rushed to the point where they filmed a Starbucks coffee on a certain table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, we had a whole episode of Morg ranting about what, George Romero. That's his name, right? Yeah.
George,
White Walkers
George
without my vanilla frap.
R.R. Martin. There you go. See, I don't. Who's Romero?
That's Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, there you go.
So, different kind of zombies.
Yeah. Yeah. Deadites eventually.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I said a name that exists at least instead of just mashing two names together. I'm proud of myself.
Did you say Deadites? As in like Army of Darkness Deadites?
Yeah.
Or Evil Dead? Ooh.
So yeah, I think we actually named an episode after Morg ranting about George R.R. Martin. I think it was Screw You, George R.R. Martin was the name of the episode. I think we actually something. You know what? I'm gonna look it up because it was hilarious. Like,
every time my husband showed me some like piece of random lore in Elden Ring, I'm like, this could be Winds of Winter. So stop, just stop. Stop showing me this shit.
Oh no.
Yeah, I can understand that. Oh, I gotta find this thing. So, BitLife is where we left off, right?
Yes, BitLife. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
I believe it is your turn for Tom.
Yeah, I'm still looking for this George R.R. Martin episode. It's a while back. It's over a year ago. I know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about right.
Goodness gracious. So like what's today? Today's gonna be like 238, 239. We're already back in the one.
I think we're at like 240. I think we're at 240 now.
Yeah. I'm still looking. I'm sorry. Curse You, George R.R. Martin, episode 149.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna have to go back.
Look at it. I do like to sort of advertise earlier episodes. And we were just talking about the games we were looking forward to in 2021, and Morg just goes off on George R.R. Martin. I think it was because we were talking about Elden Ring, because it wasn't delayed at that point.
We were.
Yes. That's how I felt. I'm like, great. I'm glad that their lore is gonna slap, but this could be Winds of Winter.
Hey, and that was the episode after one of our most popular episodes where we had Super Rad on. So this is how in contest how popular that episode was to the episode after. So 155 listeners, which I appreciate very much, to the Curse You, George R.R. Martin episode, compared to the 936 listeners of Monster Hunter is Super Rad, episode 148, where we had Super Rad Lemon on. Wow. That episode is still tops the weekly charts. Like every time I look at, yeah, it's still there.
Wow.
Okay, so back to me. So I'm going to talk about my first ever mobile game that I played on a flip phone, and I did pay for it, because I was so bored out of my mind. There wasn't anything as a Switch. There was a 3DS, but I hated playing the 3DS, and I wasn't actively playing it at the time because I had either finished whatever I could of Monster Hunter, or I just didn't. I don't know. There's times where I wasn't playing Monster Hunter, and I don't know where this was. But I was drug to a study group of my ex-wife's while she was still in nursing school. And they were in a study group with a bunch of people, and I was just sort of sitting there waiting at a Panera Bread, which is also a restaurant I hate because it's just overpriced soup and bread to me. And I was sitting there on my flip phone and I was just bored. I can't think of anything else to do. So I was like, I wonder if I can get a game on this because I've never tried. So flip over and there's this game called Doom RPG. I was like, this can't be real. This isn't a thing. So I click on it and I download it, and it actually cost money up front. So they charged it to my cell phone bill, instead of having to enter a credit card. And I played Doom RPG, and it's literally, if you've played those old games where you have to like click to move forward in a dungeon, it's like a first person view, and then you click and it's move forward and you click to turn, and then like those old dungeon crawlers. It's like that, except it's always in turns. Every map, you're like, my turn, and then you have to wait while the other entities on the map have turns that you don't see. And they're Doom. It's a story Doom game, and it was actually really good. I don't remember how much it was. I think I probably paid $15 for it. So
sounds about right.
You pick up weapons. You play Doom and just an old RPG. It's classic Doom, but they did some crazy things. Like they explained the existence of the Cyber Demon. So Sasha, how familiar are you with classic Doom? Not at all.
I've beaten classic Doom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Cyber Demon, as you know, metallic leg, rocket launcher arm, and other metallic parts. As the final boss of Doom RPG, you kill this Lord Demon thing that just looks like a giant Minotaur by blowing him up, and it blows up his left leg, his right arm, and a couple other parts exactly where the Cyber Demon is.
It's cute.
And
love that.
I was like, cool. And it's really fun to shoot a barrel with a rocket launcher and to see the damage number go up on the pinky. It's like 50 damage, the pinky dies, but then you see the bombs blow up and it's like 100, 100, 100, 100 down the line. It's like seeing the numbers on a Doom RPG game was actually really cool. So it was kind of like a mix, but it felt like a tactics game where you have this top-down views, but you're in first-person mode. And it was just interesting. And every turn was a single action. You just like move, attack, whatever. Although using an item like healing and stuff was free. Which isn't normally a thing in tactics games. But like, it's an old game. I don't know if you can still get a hold of them. I know that they did a release on the 3DS with Doom RPG and some other games that were like mobile games a while ago. But even that's kind of hard to get a hold of. So I don't know if you can still play it, but it was my first mobile game. I don't have much else to say about it because it's been a long time since I played it. But I enjoyed it, and it was a one-time purchase, and there wasn't any like ads or anything. It was just a game, like nothing else to it. Yeah, and you got to see the origin of the Cyber Demon. And apparently there was a second one that was really cool too, but I never played the second one. So I saw a retrospective about the first one and the second one a couple of months ago. So, yeah. Doom RPG, if you can ever find it.
Well, now I'm going to have to take a look around and see if it's still available anywhere. I'm going to have to...
I'm going to look right now on my phone just to see. Oops. I put Doom RPG. Nope. Wait. Hold on.
Doom RPG, mobile game, App Store, and Apple. 95% liked this video game. Developed by Fountainhead Entertainment and published by Jamdat Mobile.
That just looks
the Doom
like
first-person
Nextel.
shooter franchise with role-playing video game elements.
Yeah, it's super old.
Oh man.
Yeah, I played it on my
fantastic.
flip. It was even like it wasn't even colored when I played it. I know there's a color version, but it wasn't colored.
Oh,
Yep, I see both versions.
Fortuan, there is good news for this. I see in Google's, it says under videos, there is a play-by-play that somebody has going on, and it is in July 2022. You know what that means?
What?
We could still get the game.
I'm not seeing it right now.
Somebody's still got a copy of it.
I'm not seeing it right now, but you can buy Classic Doom and Doom 2 on your phone, which I don't need.
Oh, that's so cool.
But no. Oh, you can also play Blood. What the hell? I would never play Blood on a phone. That's so hard. Anyways.
Yeah, that sounds a little ridiculous.
Anyway, so yeah, Doom RPG is my second one. So Morg.
All right. So let's see. How do I follow this up? For our number 2. Oh boy. Okay. I don't know if I should be talking about. Well, you know what? Yeah, we'll talk about this one. Okay. Top War. If anybody has ever like played like it's weird because it's like a tile-based strategy game.
Okay.
Where you use like where what you do is you collect like commanders or heroes that use special abilities. It's a merging game combined with a military base system for it. So it's like a combination between Clash of Clans and like merging games. But on top of that, also a gacha element where you're trying to collect heroes to be able to improve the quality of your military as you're building your military and merging buildings in order to upgrade their levels in order to get better quality units. It is... I don't think that there's really any easy way for me to be able to summarize this game because it combines so many different elements that I really enjoyed. And unfortunately, it's very heavy, like heavily merchandise. It's very heavily marketed. So in that way, you try it, and like you're constantly having to like pay for like small stuff and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You can play free to play, but you do a lot better if you sink a little bit of money into it, especially for like big events where like they release, for example, Optimus Prime shards or Bumblebee shards, or if they happen to release like specialty characters for like a certain season and stuff like that. The awesome thing about it is that when you join up with like an alliance or a group or whatever, you can work together in order to complete objectives for that particular server that you're in order for your alliance to get like, you know, special benefits and stuff like that help to develop your group to make them, you know, a much more powerful unified force. So think of it like this. You're basically the commander of your own base and you're trying to develop your own basically platoon. So you can invest in Navy, Army, or Air Force. And the idea is that you're trying to get like specific upgrades for all of your various units. You can get builds for like customizing like certain upgrades for specific unit types. For example, your tanks, your airplanes, or your ships. Heroes can actually be assigned to specific squadrons that you have set up. So you can have like squadrons that it's basically like 3x3 tiles. So you get like 9 sets of individual units in a square formation, and then they attack in a sequence turn. And you can also get like upgrades that make it so that they can affect like your their attack speed. So how many of your units are able to attack in sequence before your opponents are able to retaliate. So rather than having it going back and forth, you could have it so all of your units are just attacking all at once before your opponents even get a turn to be able to attack. You can get upgrades that increase their overall attack. You can get them to increase their defense. You can make it so that they get like additional critical hit ratios, critical hit damage. Like there's
so
oh my god, the game is so heavily nuanced.
Yeah,
and I have never spent so much time on a game like this, mostly for the fact that it is so fun to grind on.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also sunk more money than on it than it deserves.
Yeah.
I feel shameful. I have to
there's
admit,
always
it was bad.
So Hellfire did that to me because it was that sort of like, I shouldn't be doing this. This is a gacha game. Like, I shouldn't. But I did. Like, I didn't spend a ton on it, but I probably spent over time probably $30 on it, which I didn't feel bad.
Oh God, I spent way more than that. Oh God, I think I spent close to like 1,000. I feel really bad. It was oh man, it was such a guilty pleasure. I was like, oh God, I can't help myself. I have to stop playing this game, or otherwise I'm gonna go bankrupt. I was like,
that's a lot.
No.
I understand that. I understand.
It was so bad.
Holy cow.
I didn't even spend money like that on Gems of War, and that's like my dirty little secret.
I never paid anything Gems of War, but I played that for a while. And that, yeah.
I would do like I think you paid like $5 and you'd get 15 gems every day for 2 weeks. And I did that a few times, and then I would do like gem packs would be on sale, and I'd buy something like that. But
we had whales, in our clan, and they basically were at max. They were trying their darndest to get to max level as fast as possible, and so in that way they could get ahead of like the other clans. Like there were always those top 3 players, and each big clan would have at least one, which was basically their Superman for their JLA. And I swear it was always neck and neck, because it would always be these 3 guys, and they would each be in like their own clan, and they would be our go-to. Like basically they would be like us pressing the nuke button, where it's like, okay, I need your help, and they'd be like, okay, who's the target? Who am I wiping out? And then
oh my gosh,
they'd be like,
they're
this guy, and then they go in, boom, and they would just wipe them clean, like almost erase them off the map. Like it was so bad. And the funny thing is that
oh man,
in this game, like, you don't just destroy their units. What you do is you can severely damage them to the point where when they go for repairs, they go down a level. And in order for you to be able to continue going up levels, is say you had like your highest level of units was like maybe 55.
Yeah.
If your opponent like decimated you, they could drop down to level 54s. And in order for you to make a level 55 unit, you have to take 2 level 54 units and merge them together. Or you would have to have buildings that were at level 55 to create those level 55 units.
Oh.
Well, depending on how far into your upgrade tree that you are, you may have like buildings that can't upgrade up to that far because you didn't get the resources in order to be able to build those kinds of units. So you may have level 75 units and level 30 buildings, and you'd have to merge like a crazy number of units together in order to make just one. So yeah, like it's really funny, especially when you take people, like you rob people of all their money, literally just taking their shoes and then just running off, and you've completely just ruined their army. Oh my God, there were a lot of grudges in that game, because everybody would be like, "You just took me out of progress. I was saving up." So it took me a week to get this far, and now I have to wait another 3 days to build this army again. And we'd be like, well, that's...
Don't get noticed, I guess. Yeah, holy cow.
Yeah, this game was like a big investment for a lot of people who were playing this game. They were playing nothing else but this game. And it was a big, heavy investment for both time and, for some people, money. Oh my God, like there was one guy I was talking to where he was like, oh God, I just dumped a whole lot into this game. My wife is probably going to kill me. I was like, how much did you spend? He's like, we're not going to talk about it. I'm not telling my wife. I'm not telling you.
So,
oh man.
So there's this girl, I would like to say dating, but we never got to go on a date because she was pretty far away. But we were trying to set one up at one point. But she was talking to me, and she's like, oh, I'm just playing my game. I'm like, okay, so yeah, just what's the game? And she's like, oh, it's a mobile game. I'm like, okay, which one? And she told me about it, and I was like, I think I played that once. Like I was in a clan and it got kind of serious and I just kind of dumped out. Like I don't remember what it was. It wasn't Gems of
Yeah.
War. It was something else. And um and I was like, so like how much do you play it? She's like, all the time. It's like my number one game. And I was like, really? That one felt pretty aggressive on the pay stuff. She's like, yeah, I probably spend about $100 a day on it. And I was like, what? How do you? And I was like, how do you do that? How is that possible? She's like, I really shouldn't, but I don't know. I was like, what? Like,
there are some people who take it that seriously, where they're like, I'm not gonna lose, and they're just willing to just open their wallets and be like, shut up and take my money.
Well, okay,
give me the best. And I'm like,
to me, part of the reason why this relationship didn't progress is the distance, but the other part of it was she wasn't really in a good place also, so I wasn't like, I was kind of hesitant to begin with. She was a nice enough girl, but like she had just like, I think a week before us sort of like meeting online, split things up with her husband, like had just finalized everything. So like, and I was like, so when did you get into this game? And she's like, during my divorce. And it's like my support group now and all these people. Like, she has a community there, but also like I feel like she's sinking money into it because like that's just what helps her cope, I guess. And I was like, now take this from me. This was like 2-3 years ago that this happened. I talked to this woman. So like I don't know if this is still the case. I don't talk to her too much anymore. I don't think at all. I haven't. She talked to me a couple times since, but like, yeah, it's just like that felt like an unhealthy amount of money for an unhealthy amount. But she sounded like, to me, it sounded like how my cousin describes WoW. That is her social network, is World of Warcraft. She's known these people for 10 plus years. They meet up online and chat every day. Like, that is her social group. And I feel like that was this woman's social group, was this mobile game, but like also super expensive social group. Like,
it is, that's actually where I actually spent a good fair bit of time as well too. Was in the online chat with the clan, just talking with people, and funny enough, the conversations were about food, and so I'd constantly be making people hungry, so they referred to me as the food pimp, and so then I ended up becoming one of the big.
That's where the Twitch name came from, where we saw you pop in on Twitch.
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Yep, and oh man, I had way too much fun. And then I went into their Discord, and I'd constantly be sending food pics of whatever it was I was making, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, this looks amazing! I forgot to take pictures of what I just made today. I made a sweet and sour spicy ginger pork recipe. It was so good. Pork tenderloin cut into beautiful strips, and I made this amazing sauce. Up in Alberta, we have like this signature dish, which is ginger beef. And basically what it is it's a sauce that's made with like brown sugar, vinegar, and ginger, and like a hot pepper flakes. And then like you literally just cook. Like what we normally do is we kind of like it's almost like tempura battered beef. Sure. And then it's just absolutely just soaked and marinated in this like super sweet, salty, tangy, spicy sauce, and it's just phenomenal. And I figured out the key recipe for it. The secret ingredients are brown sugar and white vinegar. Ginger paste I've been using a little bit of, and one of my roommates recommended to me that in order to cut down that sharp vinegar smell, a little oregano, and it works. I don't know how it does it, but oregano fixes that vinegar smell that clears your nostrils and like assaults your lungs. And had it tonight. Phenomenal stuff. Goes well on a bed of rice. Oh, and with some like sliced red bell pepper and like a whole onion, like if you take slice it into like onion rings and stuff like it, just phenomenal dish. But yeah, that's often what I would usually do, like in that group chat was, if I needed to unwind, I'd just talk with people online and share progress and stuff like that, and talk about where we are as far as what our accomplishments are, what our goals are set for. And I think one of the things that you could get into in the latter half of the game was specifically whether or not you wanted to be like a fighter style player for your base, for your clan, or if you wanted to be like a support, so you could set up like mining stations for your team and stuff like that. So in that way they could gather resources as well, and they'd get buffs and whatever. That's the one I went for because it's most fun. But yeah, no, I would say that Top War, if you can resist the urge to spend money, it's a phenomenal game. It's really it's very oh boy. It'll eat up a lot of your time. I will say that much. And a lot of the people in the communities are actually not bad. They're pretty they're not very toxic. They're pretty they're very constructive. They like to help people improve and get better at the game, and to have an understanding of the mechanics and stuff like that. And they are okay with people who are, for free to play.
Sure.
Because there usually is somebody in your clan who is a whale who will spend the money to, get that big strong army and so on and so forth. It's kind of a toss-up. Like, I would say that you're kind of dancing on the razor's edge with that one. But if you can resist the temptation to pay, it's a phenomenal game. I really enjoyed it. It's great use of time. If you're not really into like playing anything else, and if you like mobile games, you do need online in order to play it. But otherwise, it is pretty darn good.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to fill. Sasha would be next, but I think she mentioned her dog might be having problems, so we'll. Yeah, not like serious problems, but just needs to go outside because it might have ate something it shouldn't have. So Morg, I'll update you on my Call of Duty progress while we're waiting. So
I'm really excited. How's the gold weapons?
I have golded everything in every category. The first weapon in every category. I am now 2 golds into the assault rifles. I am working on the battle rifle, the second one. I did the riot shield, and let me tell you what, the riot shield, grade A fun, unless you're in a very aggravating match. Now, the riot shield was easy because of the riot shield you had to get 40 kills with it. That's it. That's the only camo challenge you had to do. It only had 1 camo challenge, and then you had the gold. And the gold camo challenge was get 2 kills before you die instead of 3. So, sure enough, that's what I was doing. And I did very well a couple matches. I was like number 1 on kills a couple times with the riot shield. It was hilarious. Like,
oh my god.
Now, it has the down effect of no matter what your perks are, no matter what you do, if someone sticks a sticky mine to you or a what's it called? Thermite. A thermite stick.
Oh yeah. Thermite's nasty for that.
You're dead either way. There's nothing you can do about it. You lost. Like, there was one time someone threw a sticky bomb and attached to my shield. I sat there and I was just like, well, there's no point now. So I just literally just stood there and died. I was like, I can't get to anybody. I'm just dead. Like, you got me.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So yeah. So anyways, but I did get the first time I got angry while playing the game was trying to get that last riot shield challenge. Just like having bad matches, and I was just like, I just need 2 kills before I die. Just it. That's it. I needed the last one, the last like streak of 2 kills before a death, and it was just like at the very end of a match that was terrible. I got it, and I was like, yes, finally. And then I go to the next gold to weapon to do was just the assault rifle, and I did it like that, like 10 matches at most. Like, just.
Oh my god.
So we were talking about Call of Duty while you were gone, Sasha. So,
sorry, I heard the sound of my dog throwing up bile, so I had to go.
Yeah, I figured that was the dog. You'd mentioned it.
Yep.
Oh,
Knew it was coming. I could hear it before we started. So.
No.
Oh, did I tell you about the chocolate raisins that Blinky ate?
Oh no.
Oh no.
So
what happened?
That's terrible. You can't have either of those.
No,
chocolate
you can't.
Or raisins.
No. So I had one day where I came back from dropping off the girls. This is months ago, where she had gotten to some kind of chocolate. I think it was a Hershey bar. And like I called the vet, and they're like, the best thing you can do is don't let them eat, don't let them drink, just sort of like starve them out for 24 hours, and stay up with them to make sure they don't die, because there's nothing you can't pump a dog's stomach or anything like that. You just gotta hope she survives the night, essentially. And I was like,
yeah,
holy cow! So I stayed up all night with Blinky. She is violently shaking, like it's really messing with her. It's like she's like freezing, like chattering. So she's on my lap, and I just stay up. I don't even know what I watched like YouTube most of the night. I don't know how I stayed awake, but I stayed up all night and make sure she doesn't eat or drink anything. And she just like shivered and shake on my lap for hours. That was like months ago, and I was just a Hershey bar. So
wow.
There's another time where I think it was also I had gone to drop off the girls, and my parents had left out a bag of chocolate covered raisins in the living room. So whenever Blinky is not supervised, she acts really good for about 20 minutes, and then she gets into anything she can. Like, she's like, no one's here? All right, let's just raid whatever I can reach. Like, she'll jump up on the kitchen table. She'll do anything. Like, she had found it. It was tied up in plastic, but still, it was just left out. She had dug into these chocolate covered raisins, and I had no clue, right? I come home, she's acting her normal self. She's really happy to see me. Let her go outside. I come back, I do some stuff when I get home, usually like take out trash because I had trash in the car or something. And like, come sit down, sat here, didn't notice anything about it. And like I said, my bed's right here behind me. And then like further out by the TV over here, I go to move my blanket, and there's just a pile of chocolate, like digested chocolate, thrown up on my bed. Like, I was just like, what on earth? And I look at Blinky, and she's just standing there wagging her tail at me. Like, I was like, you almost died. You ate a Hershey bar. And it, like, what is this? So, like, it was bad. And I was like, is that raisins? Is this like a double death? Like, are you like, like, what are you doing, dog? So like, I had to, like, I was obviously I got to wash everything. So I had to like wash all my bedding and stuff, and, basically scrape off a bunch of the stuff into like a bowl. 'Cause it was still like, it was like melted chocolate. Like, it was just like, didn't smell bad. It smelled like chocolate. Like, it was just like, okay, I guess I'm throwing this out. So like, and it was a lot. Like, I filled a bowl, and that came out of her, and nothing, no ill effects at all. I told the girls about it. I was like, hey, Blinky tried to commit a double suicide this weekend. Like, grapes and chocolate all in one at the same time. Like,
I will say one thing about dogs is that they know exactly what they're doing. 2, they have terrible impulse control problems. They can't help themselves at all.
Yeah. So Emery left some pizza on a plate. We had pizza today for dinner, and I was gonna say, you're talking about how you made this awesome beef tempura thing, or well, you did pork, but pork tempura thing, and I was like, yeah, we just ordered Papa John's, like we just, but um so Emery, she's very picky about her food too, because like I was looking for stuff at the house for her to eat, and I was like, there's nothing here she wants to eat, so let's just get pizza because she'll eat that. So we were watching, of course I've started a monster in my girls of now. I have watched Nightmare Before Christmas 3 times in the past two weekends. Which is fine. I like the movie. I don't like it that much, but like, sure, we'll watch it again. So both the girls are on me under a blanket. All of us are under a blanket, sitting in the recliner in the living room, and Emery had left part of her pizza unattended, and then I just hear this. I was like, "What is?" Of course, Blinky is up on the couch chewing on a piece of pizza, and I'm just like, "Blinky!" And she like runs with the pizza in her mouth. And I'm like,
I knew she would.
Like, gosh. I mean, Emery was done eating, but Blinky does not need to eat a whole slice of pizza. It just does not need to happen. So yeah. So,
oh god,
that is my dumb dog. Which I'm sorry, like, your dog seems to have a lot of problems with a French fry. You said like.
She's of a certain age now. I think she's like 10. So if she gets pretty much any kind of people food, it's bubble guts and going outside to poop every hour.
Yeah, my dog is 3 and stupid. That's about where I put it. She's 3 years old and stupid. That's just.
Yeah. We had a dog, she ate like a massive bar chocolate like this big. No problems at all. She ate even mouse poison the one time. And you want to know what the worst that happened? She had a green turd. That was it. No ill effects. No nothing wrong with her. She's got a stomach of raw iron. She will eat anything and everything, and nothing bad ever happened to her. The worst that ever happened was that she just got old. That's it.
We had a dog like that. She ate a whole pan of brownies more than once.
Oh, geez.
She ate a whole bag of Reese's peanut butter cups and shit out the foil.
Oh my gosh.
That was the worst that happened to her. Like, literally, she was fine. That dog could eat anything.
Immortal.
Oh, gosh. Wow. So Sasha, what's your third game?
So I have a little game called Best Fiends. It is like Candy Crush and Pokemon had a baby. Is the best way I can describe it. So it's not really like a battle-based game, but you do get these little monsters. They're called fiends. And they have different abilities that will improve your match 3 game. So you move through different maps, just like in Candy Crush, and there might be different objectives in the map. So something like, hey, you need to finish this in 40 turns or less, and you need to also make sure that you get 100 yellow gems.
Yeah.
When you do it.
Pretty much later levels of Candy Crush, yeah.
Yep. So the fiends that you pick are going to make it easier or harder to do those challenges because they might give you bonuses for certain color matches or bonuses for if you make certain types of horizontal or vertical +4 or 5 matches.
Okay.
You might get explosion abilities, different power-ups that are attached to them, and then the more you use them, they level up and they become more effective.
Okay.
So, you know, if you're addicted to Candy Crush or if you're addicted to leveling up your little pocket monsters.
Oh, I will be here in a week. A week from yesterday is Scarlet and Violet with the full co-op that the girls and I are going to be doing. So leveling
Nice.
up pocket monsters. So best fiends. Okay.
Yeah. It is a micro transaction tempting heavy game, but it's not required. So you can totally play for free with the ads. I don't think are terrible. I think it's like every couple of full matches you get an ad.
Okay. All right. So my final one is one that I'm currently playing, and I will say this is probably the most I have spent on a mobile game ever. I will say I don't think I have breached $50, but it might be close to that because I've only bought like a seasonal pack or and one like extra pack. But the first thing was wait. I think I bought more than that because I bought these permanent bonuses. No. The permanent bonuses are because I bought something else. Okay, anyway. Anyways, so I bought the remove ads pack, and then I bought a couple seasonal pack stuff. And like anytime I bought it, it's been like 35. Not 35, sorry. 15. So I'm about like $35, $45 right now. So it's called Necromerger, and it is a merging game. And it's actually a cute little story, I think. Cute in a weird way. So you're a necromancer, and you have a pet Cthulhu, like this squid in a dungeon. And you feed him to get him larger because he's your pet, and you want him to grow. And the game starts to get more complex as the squid monster levels up. So at first you start with a single grave that can create skeletons that you feed it. And then as you merge things, so like you're merging, like, so you click on the grave, it has like a mana resource and it spits out bones. You merge the bones become a skeleton. The skeleton, you merge the skeletons, they become spear wielding skeletons, and then you get bigger. Eventually you get this giant skeleton with a sword and looks all stuff like mean and stuff. But you can also upgrade your item generation things. So the grave can be merged if you buy another grave with runes to include zombies. Eventually you start to get zombies, and eventually they have this mechanic where if you get a max level resource, like a max level producer, you combine it with another max level producer, you create a super special unit that is unable to be fed, produces a lot of resources, and increases your resource cap. So,
ooh,
and
I like that.
That one is your lich, and as you level up, you make the room larger, and then they introduce other mechanics like. Eventually, the townspeople start noticing you because all of the people and stuff disappearing in the crypt, and all the noise and whatnot. So at first, peasants come, and peasants, when you defeat them, because like your monsters, when you're producing them, also have battle values as well as food values to the squid. I'll call it a squid, but Cthulhu thing, and it's really cute looking too. Like, and you can buy various skins. They have like they do this thing where you have like gold, in-game gold that you earn, and then you have the diamonds, which are like the bot currency, but you still earn the diamonds just at a lower rate. But you can just straight up buy the diamonds, but you can get skins with the diamonds and stuff. I'm actually saving up for a skin that is like a Groucho version of the squid that lives on a trash can with the tentacles coming out, and as it gets bigger, like a banana peel comes out of the trash can and more tentacles and looks meaner. So like I only have like a couple more, like I think 50 more gems to save up for that one. But partially why I'm getting that close is because I bought a seasonal pack. But they had a Halloween event that I bought something for. And I got like a bunch of bonuses for buying the remove ads. And the ads are actually really cool the way they do it, it's not like you merge something and here's an ad, you merge something and here's an ad. Like I've done that on some, like other games are really aggressive about that. This one is like, eventually when you level up, you start getting other bonuses. So like when you merge stuff, you're progressing certain things. So certain things merging progress certain things. Like skeletons and zombies and mummies attract peasants to attack you. And then they also attract locked treasure chests, and the locked treasure chest produces gold and gems, and you get only so many of those a day, and you tap on it a bunch to release it. But if you tap on it and you don't have remove ads, it will play an ad, and then you can open up the chest. So it's like these special items that you don't even need to use are the ads. So I was like, you know what though? I'll pay the $15, and you get like a 10% bonus on food to eat. And then also the squid has cravings too. So you can just feed it whatever, but it'll have cravings. It'll be like, I really feel like eating 7 spear skeletons. So like you'll like feed it like 7 spear skeletons, and it's like, hey, I got like 2,000 bonus food, and it'll level up and stuff. Eventually you start seeing it goes from peasants, then you get knights, and then you get clerics, and then you get paladins, and then like it gets really far up there, and like you go, like you have all sorts of different producers eventually. So you go from the graves that produce skeletons and zombies to bookcases which produce eye monsters and mummies, and then and they produce like eyeballs which become eye jars, and then the eye jars become monsters, eye monsters, and then conversely you level up the bookcase enough, it starts producing bandages, and then heavy bandages, and then those are mummies. And then you get an altar which produces bats and werewolves are really cool because they're the fighting unit. They don't produce anything, but they're really good at fighting. So you get werewolves, and then it goes back around because like the graves use mana, the bookshelves use slime, and then the altars use darkness energy, which are the 3 resources, and these produce over time. Units produce these things, and you reduce. It's definitely like you can pay money to increase these caps and whatnot, but the caps there's always a way to increase these caps through the game and not buying stuff. It's just that doing it is the pay thing is buying the skins with the gems. Like that is the only way that you can sort of like pay to win on this, is buy the gems to get skins that increase these caps artificially. And those are forever purchases. So you play this game, and then it circles back around, and then you have special producers that produce new units but use all the different resources. So you get the altars, I don't know what to call them. The altars is the darkness, but there's like a book stand, and those produce 2 new units, but also skeletons. So like they produce the rib cages instead of a single bone, which is the 2nd level skeleton thing. And then you got new things and I think that's it. But like then you max out, and I was like, what happens if you max out? Are you just done? So then this little cutscene pops up, and there's like this like off, like it's little not like cutscene, but like a little, you go, and the necromancer eventually has dialogue with certain characters and whatnot. He's like, hey, get out of my dungeon, I'm working here, or something like that. So this one guy, you get a tip stone eventually, and the tip zone is literally just you go into a different room, and it's like, here's some tips for you. Like you can do this if you didn't know that, and it's like your helper tutorial thing. It's like, okay, sure, whatever. But then the tip zone has like this emergency alert. One time I went into the room and I was like, what's going on? So I clicked on it. He's like, emergency, you're never going to reach you're never going to be big enough to save the world, da 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 da. And I was like, what are you talking about? So I click on it, and it's like, are you sure you want to do this? I was like, I guess. So what's this doing? It reverses time to the beginning, and it increases your maximum cap, so you get to do like a redo and do everything all over again. However, doing so produces a new resource, which is like time shards that you spend to increase your bonuses and make things level up faster throughout the progression. So you keep doing it to increase your level cap, and then you keep replaying it, which is just So to me, it's a time wasting game anyways. I'm not super invested in doing it all the time. Like if I had cared enough, I would have been playing it at all today. I haven't, but I will probably sometime tonight before I go to bed play. I don't know. It's been fun just to just merge things, and you have there. It's got a little bit of comedy to it, especially when the necromancer gets annoyed with somebody coming into his dungeon. He's like, "I'm working here, leave my squid thing alone." Oh, and there's also the funny thing, if you don't want to fight, because like how you get the gems to buy things is fighting the various things. So the peasants, the knights, the clerics, and the paladins all produce their own. And then there's one called the Nemesis, which I haven't fought yet. They all produce different like rune stones. So the peasant produces blue with a small chance of green, and then like the knight is green with a small chance of red, and then red with a small chance of yellow, and then yellow with black, and then just black, I assume. You, instead of like being like, man, I don't feel like fighting this peasant today, like I don't really need those gems or those runes or whatever, you can just feed it to the squid. You don't have to. You can just be like, it's worth 50 food. Bink.
Oh my god.
It is really funny. It gets like this little happy face with these like underlined eyes when you feed it stuff, and it won't want to eat certain things. Like it doesn't like liches, so it won't let you feed him the lich, that kind of thing. It's like it's a cute little fun just time waster merger game. But I think I've spent $45 on it because I did a Halloween event, which was like a whole different room and had a whole different thing. And instead of doing cravings, you had this pot that you were making a witch's brew that needed certain ingredients that had its own producers and stuff too for a limited event. So I bought like the whatever pack for that, just to sort of accelerate it. There's like an every once a week event that is like a beekeeping one, where if you get far enough in it, you unlock the beekeeping skin, which just gives 10% bonus on cravings. And I was so close last time. So close. You have three days to sort of hit a certain point threshold. And all you're doing is you have beehives that produce bee larvae and make bigger and bigger bees. And then you can create flowers and you just make a bunch of honey. And the more honey you get, the more points you get. And if you get a certain threshold, you get the skin. So I was one threshold away. I was so close. I had like 450 million out of 500 million points or something like that. So, yeah. The only other mobile game I've really spent a lot of money on. All the other ones have been like $5 to remove ads. This one has been like, yeah, okay, I'll do this. Like, still playing it now. I've been playing it. It's the one thing that on my phone that I actually play now. And it's been about a month of me playing this. Maybe 2.
I might give it a shot.
It's just stupid fun. So what's your third one, Morg?
Oh, dearie me. Now I have to pick. Oh, this is where things get actually kind of hard. Oh, dearie me. I mean, I do love Grow Castle. And I don't know if Super NDS really counts, because it's an emulator for the Super Nintendo, for like a Nintendo DS. It allows you to be able to play.
I played a Super Nintendo emulator on my phone, yeah, back in the day.
Yeah. This one just happens to be called Super NDS, so it allows you to be able to play Nintendo DS games on it. Currently, I have a ROM hack of Pokemon Heart Gold. It's called Pokemon Sacred Gold. It's done by Dreo, and he does a phenomenal job with a lot of he fixes it so in that way when you're playing the game, you have access to all 493 Pokemon. Doesn't matter whether or not you're playing one of his ROM hacks, which is either Sacred Gold or Storm Silver. He's completely modified all the gym leaders. So Falconer, which is like the bird gym, whatever, like at the very beginning of the game, he's number 1. He doesn't just get stuck with like a Pidgey and a Pidgeotto. He has things like a Murkrow. He has a Hoot. He's got like a Pidgeotto. He's got like a bunch of other Pokemon in his party. So it's more than just that. The guy in Bellsprout Tower gets like a Cherubi, which has like healing, and like his Hoot has hypnosis and confusion and stuff like that. You can catch
makes it more challenging.
Pokemon from all the generations, yeah. And he's also modified some of their stats. He's made it so that Flygon is like a dragon and bug type, which is thematically more suitable because it's like a dragonfly dragon Pokemon. Luxray becomes like a electric and dark type, which also is thematically accurate. Electivire is no longer just an electric type. It's an electric fighting type. He plays around with their stats to make them actually good, like Farfetch'd actually got an upgrade in that game. But, yeah, like, aside from the ROM hack itself, like, the fact, like, if you wanted to be able to play a Pokemon ROM hack on the go, and you didn't have the time to be able to take a laptop with you or whatever, you can just get Super NDS, and you can play ROM hacks on your phone. And we have yet to find a good one for like Game Boy Advance games, but so far for Nintendo DS, we've got a solid one, and it's not bad. Like, it sometimes crashes, and yeah, there are some ads, but I mean, like, the ads are very infrequent. They tend to be usually either at the beginning when you first open the app, or when you decide to close the game and then finish things off. So it's actually a pretty good emulator. There are better ones. Let me see if I can find it.
See, this is something that you do a lot. You play a lot of Pokemon mods, and I have never tried to do that. And it sounds like something I would, because
they're really fun. Oh my god, the way that a lot of these guys, these modders, when they take a look at the base game and then they decide to themselves, you know what, I could do this a lot better. Yeah, they can do it a lot better. Oh my god. Oh, it is so refreshing. It's like you get the complete experience, and it's so cathartic. You can catch them all, and which is like it's the main slogan of the game, but they keep coming up with new games, new additions to the Pokedex. So like, what are we at for like for the number of Pokemon that are available right now? We're well past 900 Pokemon. And you're expecting to have things like Pokebank and like
there's like 600 something right now. It's worth a Google, I suppose.
I would easily assume that we're over 900 easily. How many Pokemon are there?
925.
925. And we're somehow expected to catch them all. At least with this game, it at least gives you the opportunity. Like, they literally have almost every Pokemon in that ROM hack.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
I have a breakdown here. This is actually really cool. So, Game Boy, red, green, blue, yellow, right?
Yep.
151. Then, and it has a running total as it goes. Then we have gold, silver, and crystal introduced new so it has new in generation, new in games, and then total 100 new Pokemon were in those games. I didn't know that personally. I didn't know those numbers. So 251. Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald introduced 135. So that put up to 386. And then there was Fire Red, Leaf Green introduced no new Pokemon. Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum introduced 107, bringing it up to 493. Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Really? Heart Gold and Soul Silver was like literally just one generation removed? That's weird. Okay. So that introduced
it's a Gen 4 game,
Black and White, and it's also got breakdown of platforms too. This is actually really interesting.
Oh yeah.
So Black and White introduced 156 new ones. Black and White 2, no new ones. So bringing it up to 649, which is the number I was familiar with, the 600s.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. X and Y introduced 72 more, bringing it up to 721. Sun and Moon, 81 more, bringing it wow, this is actually really split. Can't count it yet because we're not out of that generation. Then Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun introduced 5 new ones. So, and then Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee introduced 2 new ones. So that brought the total of that generation to 88, bringing it up to 809. And then this is where it gets really wonky, right? Sword and Shield, 81. Isle Armor expansion, 3. The Crown Tundra expansion, 5. And then Legends Arceus introduced 7. So 96 new Pokemon, 905. And they're saying right now, Scarlet and Violet, which the region is Paldea, which is interesting. Interesting. Okay. Anyways, Scarlet and Violet, they're saying 20 plus, so 925 plus. So there are confirmed 20 new Pokemon at least.
Mm-hmm. It's getting so crazy. How are you expected to get them all? You would have to have backtrack and gathered up as many as you could and transferred them from generation to generation to generation as far into the future as you possibly could. And even still, it's still quite the challenge. You're not fully guaranteed to get everything. Unless you're an avid collector and you're really determined.
So, here's another cool thing. You can look at each generation of Pokemon just visually and see which ones had the least amount of new Pokemon. Guess which one had the least?
Oh. Generation 6?
Yes, you'd be right. Gen 6. That is the least new Pokemon, which is X and Y. Huh.
Oh, I didn't think I would get it. Holy smokes, how did I know? Oh my god. That's amazing. But aside from Super NDS Emulator, which is free, you can get a better one. It is called Drastic DS Emulator. You do have to pay, I think it's $5 for the emulator, but at least it's a full functioning one. It's really good. So far, I have not heard anything about any crashes. People keep saying that it runs flawlessly. Great emulator. So far, a lot of people say that it is a top quality one. So if you wanted to spend the money on it and you wanted to have the DS experience, but with ROM hacks, highly recommended maybe to try out Drastic. I'm only testing out the free one for now, though.
Eventually. Not with the giant backlog of games I have right now, but eventually.
Yeah. At some point.
I may try some Pokemon mods, just because I'm lightly interested in just some of the more interesting balance changes and typing changes. Because for me, that's always been, Pokemon for me has been the typings and, just the interesting differences in Pokemon, I guess.
That makes sense. I think maybe a good ROM hack for you would probably be Renegade Platinum. It's a good one. I think you'd like it very much. It's everything from imagine Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, but everything is it's
I don't know.
A little bit tweaked, minor tweaks.
I recently just replayed the Diamond remake. Boy, that was rough because that was the last. That was the last time that I did. That's the last time I'm probably going to do Bug Trainer Cham. Because Cricketots versus Onyx in the first gym, not a fun thing. I was only thing available to you that's bug before that first gem is Kricketot. And I was like, this is just butts. So
no, it's yeah. No, that's bad. But with Renegade Platinum, at least they give you the option. Like I think they've like further expanded the availability of like certain Pokemon, like the areas where you can catch Pokemon. Like I think they've expanded like the encounter rates, and they made it a lot easier for you to be able to get a more varied team.
So there aren't like 7 bug types that are only available through Shaking Trees that you put honey on?
No. I think they give you more options. Heart Golden's like with Sacred Gold right now. They've given me like access to so many really good Pokemon. Like they've even like increased the base stat total for Beedrill, so it's actually really good. They've changed the move pools for them. They've given them access to way better moves and abilities. Like for example, Weedle starts off with Bug Bite and Poison Sting. Bug Bite right off the bat, level 1. Bug Bite.
Bug Bite's a pretty high attack move, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a base 60. And with stab on top of that, oh my god! Like, they give you a lot of. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna give you maybe a copy of Sacred Gold, because honestly, it's really good. All you have to do, I think, is actually get the ROM for Heart Gold, and then you just have to patch the mod in, and then you're good to go. And honestly, I think playing as Bug Trainer would be really easy in that game.
Considering Beedrill is my second favorite Pokemon, I'm down.
Beatrice is a keeper in our playthrough. Like my girlfriend and I, we've decided to do a playthrough together, and my team consists entirely of all the cute Pokemon that she likes, and she gets to nickname them, and I have to try and beat the game with her using a team of what she likes. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, Scarlet and Violet, I'm just gonna do no Bug Trainer Cham this time, although I am probably gonna have a bug in there because bug is my favorite type. I am so sold on Fuecoco, just the fire alligator. I just want to see where it goes. No spoilers for me though.
Oh yeah, but I was also going to mention that you'll probably like Sacred Gold for the fact that Flygon is not a ground and flying not a ground and dragon type. It's a bug and dragon type. So you'll be able to use Flygon.
Yeah, I mean I fudge it sometimes where that certain things lose a type, and I'm like, no, I'm keeping it because is it Decidueye that loses its flying type eventually? It becomes a grass ghost.
Yeah, it becomes a ghost type for some strange reason. Ghost and grass, which is really interesting.
So when I was doing my bird trainer Cham for Sun and Moon, Decidueye was part of it. So like that was the one break because I was like, oh, there's a bird for the starter? Yeah, I'll do bird. So I had like that team consisted of I don't remember everything in it, but I know I had a Talonflame and I know I had a Skarmory. And I also had a Pelipper. And my Pelipper was my tank.
Pelipper's really good.
So I try to make it as viable as I can within my own restrictions, and I know for a fact that it started in black and white because Vulcanus in black and white. I was like, there's a good legendary bug Pokemon? All right, let's do it. Let's do Bug Trainer Cham. And I tried. I don't know if you remember, you saw my Sword and Shield playthrough with Pan, because we played together a couple times. But I actually went to the stores and bought the Bug Trainer outfits and stuff. Like I had like the beekeeper hat and everything, and like I really tried to role play. So then there was these weird line of dialogue where it's like you beat the little kid. He's like, "Bug type are the best type," but I was like, "I know, kid. I just beat you with bug types." Like, but like. The game obviously doesn't know I did that. Like it's just like whatever dialogue. I was like, yes.
It's just flavor text just for the sake of it.
Yeah. It's like, I'll show you bug type are the best. I'm like, sure, kid. Also, I lied, Morg. It's not my second. It's not my second favorite Pokemon. It's my third. But all three are bug types.
Let me see. Volcarona, Beedrill. What's your first?
Volcarona is not on that list. I like it, but it's not on that list. No. Number 1 is Centiskorch.
Ooh, that is a good one.
Because I had a Centiskorch that had a fire, grass, water, and dark move.
Wow, that's good coverage.
Because Centiskorch learns Vine Whip and Scald. So I had a water move. So I was like, oh, you're going to come at me with this rock Pokemon because you think I'm a fire bug and that's going to be 4 times? Well, take my faster Centiskorch with a Scald. Take it.
Oh my god. That is a fantastic one. Oh my gosh.
I
don't know. I like a lot of them. Like Scissor's good. Heracross is great.
Second favorite is Cleaver. Have you seen Cleaver yet?
Oh yeah, Cleavor. Yeah, Axe Hands.
The new evolution of Scyther instead of stupid Scissor. I hate Scissor.
I like.
He looks
Scizor.
like a freaking
Scissor's
mech.
Great.
He looks like some weird Japanese mech, and I can't stand it. Like, why?
I think that's kind of what they were going for. But I mean, like, I just picture him as like the red speedy boxer. You know, just comes in, but with claws. So if like Rocky had like, you know, like had like bear traps in his mitts. Like, that's what I picture. You know?
I just imagine this Scissor coming in with this like Sylvester Stallone, like, yeah, hey Ash, you want to go fight? You want to go fight some?
Yeah, you go back for the Italian stallion, you know what I'm saying? Where'd you come up with the name Italian Stallion? Well, I was just sitting down, some breakfast, and it came out the top of my head, you know, it's just Italian Stallion. I was like, oh, it's a pretty good name, you know, I'll take it, you know?
As you guys know, I love Rocky. Rocky's, I've watched so many of them. And there's a Creed 3 coming. I'm going to watch it.
Ooh.
So more ROM hacks for Pokemon. All right.
Yeah, I couldn't help myself.
That's fine. That is mobile. You do it on your phone. So, Sasha, what's your third one?
I mean, it's Gems of War.
Okay.
But I don't really want to talk about Gems of War, but it's like,
it's a match 3.
About it, I'm gonna want to play it.
Yeah, no, I have played it. It is another gotcha match 3 game. You build units, and the units have different bonuses, and you match gems based on those bonuses. They have special attacks if you line up certain ones, and yeah,
they've added on a lot to the game. I think the last that I had played, you had like, there's pet cards and pet battle, and there's the Soul Forge for you to make your own of like any kind of material you need. So that it's less. It's like the illusion that there's less grinding, but really it's just grinding different things to get specific outcomes instead of random. It's really heavy on the guild element, though. To like really truly play the game without paying to play, you have to do the guild stuff, and people are really serious about it. And I just
you can't be.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's a free game. I'm not gonna be that serious about it.
No. Yeah. I had just gotten into a guild. And then I started to feel like, this isn't for me. So like they got pretty mad because I dropped out pretty quick off of playing. So I got kicked out of the guild, and I was like, yeah, I don't care. Like,
when I finally stopped playing, it was because it was like the pressure to get on every single day and make sure that you did like your Guild Wars or the Towers, whatever the weekly event was, and. And I was so deep in the game that I was always like the the Paragon defense for Guild Wars. So then you got to make sure that you have all your stuff set up, and it's this giant puzzle because you got more points if you didn't reuse any of your troops, and like, so you had to have, I think, like 16 teams or something like that of individual troops fully like decked out, and then you had certain bonuses if you paired certain troops together, but then like you didn't want to reuse certain troops, and
I had
so much.
Oh my god!
I had I managed to I had one team that I used. I didn't even I didn't get that far. Like, I used the Urson team. There was a bunch of bear people that was some sort of like event or whatever faction. And I used the bear people, and it was really cool because I got like super rage mode if one of them died, and then I got stronger if one of the units died. Like, it was fun.
I have like almost all of the troops like at mythic level. I have like, you know, like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse fully at mythic level. I had Xanthanos that took me months to make that card.
Oh, wow. That's commitment. Yeah. Oh my god.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you don't have anything else to play, sometimes that's where you're at. You just play a mobile game. Like, I get that. Like, part of the reason why I have liked Necromerger right now is I don't have to engage with it. The worst thing that happens is that I miss out on a daily chest or a daily monster or something that I got for free, and that I am not optimizing my time using my resources. That's it. That's all I miss out on. I don't miss out. I mean, you could miss out on events or whatever, but like, the events just get you extra stuff. It's not like it's required for progression. Like, I've already hit max progression once and recycled once. Like, I don't really need to, and I wasn't playing super hardcore. Now, I did buy a couple packs, but those are always event packs that were in those areas, not like main game progression, aside from the ad buy boosted me up some main game progression because of better bonuses. Like, that's why I like Necromerger so much, because I don't feel guilty not playing it. Like, I am okay sitting there doing a jigsaw puzzle like I have been for the past 2 weeks instead of playing a mobile game when I could be. And that's where I agree that Gem Wars fails. Is it's fun, but that pressure is a very big minus, feels like.
Yeah. Too much commitment. Way too much commitment.
That's where I kind of realize that I need to back off of a game, is if I do start to feel that pressure, like I need to play every day, yada yada. I won't say I have felt about this with most Monster Hunter titles, but Monster Hunter World specifically, in that day, I did feel a pressure to get everything done in a certain time, even though there wasn't. That was all a self-proposed pressure. I know that, but like,
yep.
I was like, oh, I got to get my daily bonus for logging in, which wasn't even worth anything. Like,
no,
they give you like
what Gems gives you too.
Yeah.
What was it? Armor stones, I think it was in some cases, and like maybe a golden ticket.
Like, and I had like so many of those anyways. Like, it didn't even matter. Like, that's why I put down World the first time, is because I was just starting to feel that pressure, and I was like, no, I'm done. I've crown hunted. I don't need to be here anymore. Bye-bye. Like, so yeah. And I agree. Gems of War is fun, but that pressure is not the fun part about it.
It's now, I had booted it up a couple months ago, and there's so many different things to do in that game that I couldn't even imagine trying to keep up the guild requirements, and then also be able to play the rest of the game. Like, there's the underworld, and when I was in the thick of all the guild play, I didn't even touch the underworld, and there's like, I think like 30 kingdoms in the underworld with full storylines and
I mean the storylines that I just tap through because I just want to play. Please.
Yeah, but you unlock, like specific troops from each one of those areas.
Yes. Yeah, and that's how you grind for those troops, is playing those, and which one are you going to make your hometown found to generate money from, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I hadn't even touched any of that because it was just like,
who's got time?
We've got to do the towers, and I'd get like 300 towers done in a week.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't. Like I said, I talked about this last week. My backlog is getting immense, and I cannot keep up because Pokemon is going to destroy it. Like, I am going to be playing Pokemon and damn everything else, apparently.
Yep, I feel that too, because I actually just started getting... I got my PS4 back up and running, and I actually started playing Sinking City because I wanted to play a Chthonic-themed mystery game, and it kind of just, it hits the spot, it wets the whistle for me.
Yeah.
So there's that. The DS emulator, like the ROMs that hacks I'm playing. And I also wanted to get back into Freelancer because I actually have a run where I'm not picking like heavy duty battleships and stuff like that in order to fight and get through the campaign. I'm playing a trucker themed game where I'm going around in a big freighter, and the only way for me to be able to make any money and to progress through the story and like get farther is by taking cargo from one place to another and then making money and profit off of me just going from place to place.
Are you playing Truck Driver?
I'm playing a combat game as a truck driver. Yes, I am playing Truck Driver Simulator in space. It is so fun. Oh my god. I've never played the game like that before. Usually I'm bounty hunter or something like that, but no, I'm playing trucker today.
I cannot deny what I would call a time waster game. Like, I mean, how much did I talk about Power Wash Simulator this year? Like
it's a rewarding and satisfying experience,
right?
You get to clean stuff, but not really cleaning. It's not like backbreaking labor, elbow grease. No, you just get to spray stuff and watch it go from dirty to clean in an instant. Just immediate dopamine, pure satisfaction, no effort. It's like,
I have to get my Switch to. I picked up in Morg. You might like this game. I'm gonna pick up my Switch and tell you about it. Look, give me a second.
Okay.
All right. Oh, I was gonna ask, anyone pick up Sonic Frontiers? I mean, I did, but I didn't. Not for me. It's a surprise Christmas present for the girls because they like Sonic.
I mean, like.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd pick it up.
Monster Train First Class.
Monster Train First Class. Oh no, I'm gonna have to see a trailer of this.
This is not what you're talking about. This is not a truck simulator. This is a roguelike. And what it is you are on a train. It's called Monster Train because you are the last surviving forces of hell. Heaven has eradicated the rest of hell. And you were on, what is that one where Chris Evans is eating babies?
Oh,
the movie Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer.
Yes, it's like a Snowpiercer situation. You were the last surviving units of hell on a train that is moving, and you choose different tracks to get different bonuses, and you have different factions that have different units and whatnot. But you're doing a run with different bosses, and it's a it's one of those card games where you build a deck as you're going and you play different units and that kind of thing. But it's been rather fun because you can do stuff like there's like the nature-ish demons that are called I think they're called the Awoken, and they're like treants and stuff. And I have this really fun. You always have this like champion unit and then supporting units. And the champion unit is just like a super tank that has spikes. Like you hit her, they take spike damage. Well, I found a unit that has like a super double attack. And when it kills something, it gives everything a buff. So I just like tank everything, and then it kills everything on the enemy side, and then the tank gets buffed, and then
Oh my god.
so it's one of those like theory crafting card optimization games. I think you would like, Morg.
Yeah, I do like those kinds of games. Oh.
So yeah, Monster Train. It was like on sale on the Switch, and I picked it up. And that's what I've been playing when the girls are watching YouTube, and I'm just not doing anything. So, which I should be playing Bayonetta 3 for the show, but I have not done that, and I don't know when I am. I've just not been
we
super
will
driven.
find out.
So the last thing we were going to talk about is games that we would like to see in the mobile space, or what we'd like to see about mobile games. For me, what I am looking for, because it is my favorite genre, is I would like to see a mobile Diablo-like game that isn't monetized in the slightest. Diablo Immortal does not cut it. That's why I tried it, even though I knew it was going to be butts. Like, I liked it at first, but then you hit that paywall and you're like, no, that is a paywall I am never breaching. So, to be honest, I think I need like some of these off games that I play occasionally on PC. Like, if there was a good version of Titan Quest on mobile, I would like something like that where you can just do like a run through an area and get some loot and then like be done with it, sort of deal. Like, I would like a more action RPG style of a mobile game that is just that. Now, I guess this is interesting that we picked this topic this week because there is a Monster Hunter mobile game coming out at some point. We don't know.
That is exactly the reason why I picked this as a topic.
Yeah, because we didn't mention that, but there was some partnership with what is the company? What did they do? What's the other mobile games they did?
They've done. Oh, let me see. Pokemon Unite was one of the games that. This company made. I don't remember what the name of the company is.
Unite is so bad on their pay model.
It's not exactly the best MOBA.
No, it's a MOBA. Oh my gosh. I'm not looking for
a MOBA and a mobile. A mobile MOBA.
Yeah, I mean, you can play Dota. I think you can play on the phone. I think there's even a League of Legends version on the phone. I think.
That's so weird. It's so weird.
I mean, I played League of Legends for a bit. It's a complex and very tough game, but like I think you can do it on mobile.
What do you think the odds are that we're probably going to get like a Monster Hunter MOBA where you unlock all the different monsters
0.
and you literally are playing like a League of Legends maps with the top, the middle, and the bottom, and you've got your jungles and everything like that, and then you've got your center boss or whatever, and you've got like somebody who's like running a Rathalos main, somebody who's doing the Zinogre run, another person who's doing like Brachydios Brawler like up front, trying to just disrupt people's chains and stuff like that.
Dude, you have
to fight a big Fatalis in the middle of the map.
I would 100% unabashedly play that game, and yet I do not believe that is going to be a thing at all. It's going to be like one of those. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't have high hopes for a mobile game.
It would be such a Pokemon Unite ripoff. Oh, well, actually, it would just be like just an absolute staple MOBA game is what it would be. And I don't know how I would respond to that, seeing Monster Hunter in that light. I'd have so many mixed feelings about it because it just would not be the Monster Hunter I know.
I would do it.
But
don't get me wrong. I would. I liked League of Legends, but I would do it. I'd do it.
I'd play it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Morg, what is your dream mobile game?
My dream mobile game. Oh, dearie me. Um, oh dear. I think what I would like to be able to play would be a really good quality city builder. And I'm not
Oh,
talking
okay.
like
Skylines?
Something kind of like Skylines, like something between Skylines and like SimCity, like the traditional, something in between there, where it's like not too complicated, but it is nuanced enough that if you wanted to be able to learn about like how to make your infrastructure better and how to be able to provide power for your ever expanding city and stuff like that, like that's the kind of game that I would like to play. And like being able to manage your populations or like, providing work and, figuring
Okay.
out where you want to place stores and like communities and whatever and like
So,
schools, you know.
that being said, Morg, I do
Mm-hmm.
have two PC titles that you might not have heard of that are going to be kind of
Oh,
cool. So the first one, pretty generic one, but it's
okay.
called Urbex City Builder. I have
Urbex City Builder.
I have put some time into this. It is just a generic city builder. It doesn't require you to do utilities. You're more managing industries.
Okay.
So you manage food a lot. So you're like, I need my food. So the population needs food. The population needs this. The population needs entertainment. So how many bars do I have? How many schools do
Mm-hmm.
I have? There's a lot of placement management. So like to upgrade the
Yeah.
food, like food silos need however many acres of farm near them, but also they need a warehouse
Okay.
and you got to manage
Mm-hmm.
pollution. So it's a lot different of like what you're placing versus managing resources, right?
Okay.
You're
Yeah, that makes sense.
you are managing resources, but you're not like, okay, the people need this much electricity and water. You're more focusing on the industry side. Like
Right. Okay.
how much trade goods are we producing? Because if as much trade goods, I need to unlock this to do this. How much steel are we producing? Like that, yada yada. So like
Mm-hmm.
that's I've done one playthrough of that. I've kind of hit like a plateau on that playthrough where I'm like, I think I've plateaued. I think I can do nothing else with the city. The other
Mm-hmm.
one is an early access game that I'm gonna wait till it comes out of early access, but it was a good enough premise for me to pick it up anyways. Called
Mm-hmm.
Timberborn. Have you heard of Timberborn?
Timberborn. It sounds an awful lot like a certain game that I have been getting a lot of ads for on my mobile games. I can't remember what it was called, but it's kind of like a ripoff of Golden Goblins. But I'm getting a distinct feeling that it is completely different from what I'm thinking it is. It
You
has something to do with more than just lumber mills, doesn't it?
uh kind of. It's a city builder. Uh you know what? I'll just read the description from the game. How about this?
Yeah, I've got all ears.
Mankind turned Earth into a dry wasteland and perished. But some species adapted and evolved. Pick one of the beaver factions and see how long your colony can last.
Oh my god. Yes. I get to be Yes. Oh my god. This is right up my alley. Oh,
Control
please.
one of the two beaver factions, the nature friendly folk tales or the industrious iron teeth. Each faction has a unique style, buildings, gameplay traits that choose your play style. Wet and dry seasons. River control. You have to control the flow of your rivers. Uh,
Oh,
Lumber punk is the name of the genre they're calling it.
Lumberpunk. Okay, now this is going to be a sensational game. I've
Go-
got a lot of confidence in this. Just the
Golems,
simple fact that
vertical architecture is one of the things you have to worry about verticality on the city builder instead of just uh, Day and night cycles. You have to worry about the well-being of your workers. There is a map editor also involved. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
This
I
is
think I might be sold on this one.
this is early
Timberborn.
access. Timberborn. The mankind is dead, and you are now beavers rebuilding society. And
oh my god.
yeah. So that is some city builders that you might want to look into. Now, granted, those are not mobile, but I know that both Urbex and Timberborn are on Good Old Games, if you prefer that, but I think they're also on Steam.
I think I'll probably give those an option. I mean, honestly, aside from what I just described for a mobile game, Victoria 3 on mobile would probably be pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep, Victoria 3. That'd be perfect. Perfect for me.
Okay.
My brother and I have tried our best to understand Victoria 2.
Nope.
Even the developers have no idea what the hell is going on with Victoria 2.
That's why they made 3.
There's mechanics in that game. There are mechanics in the game that the developers are looking at and are like, we don't know how this works. It just does. And so are all the players. They're like, we don't know how it works. We just know it works. So that's what we do. We just go with it.
I got you. So Sasha,
so I'm happy that with Victoria 3 they fixed it.
Okay. What's your dream mobile game?
So I was kind of inspired by Fallout Shelter.
Okay.
To take this idea of a AAA IP, but changing what your expectation is of the use of the IP. So what I would love to see is just like a fun little sidestep is like hidden object games in like some of your favorite games. So like BioShock or Mass Effect or Fallout or something, but you got hidden object games and maybe there's small little puzzles that you're doing for it. It's unrelated to the main storylines. Or like a text-based adventure, choose your own adventure kind of thing that's set in your favorite kind of world.
So kind of like what I like to do, just like word search, just like my jumbo word search puzzle book that I do just to kill time. So be on your phone, like hidden object stuff, just look for stuff.
Yeah, but it's like you're looking in, you know, the Arlington Library of Fallout 3 and you need to find like the bobblehead and a box of bobby pins and, you know, like a couple of things that you would typically pick up in the game.
I used to love, remember the I Spy books? Like those?
Of course.
But a themed one? You know, what's better is Where's Waldo? Like Where's Waldo had all those funny scenes that you could I would stare at those for hours. And then be like, oh, what was I looking for? Oh yeah, the dog. Where's the dog?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm kind of thinking something like that.
Okay. I love it. I love that idea. Okay. Huh.
Oh my god, you guys just sparked a memory. I remembered that I actually had like CD-ROM games for I Spy, but it was themed around specific things. Like there was I Spy, what was it, Pirates Cove, where you'd like try and like go around to all the different like locales around like this pirate themed I guess world that you're on. Like I guess you're like kind of like you're basically like on East Coast docks or whatever in like this small village or whatever, and then there would be small I Spy puzzles that were themed around like around the locale that you're in. And then there would also be, I think it was I Spy Haunted Mansion or whatever, where you're going through a
haunted mansion.
That one's a fun one. That one's a really fun one to do. Especially when you have to go back to your old puzzles that you solved and then collect like specific trinkets from those previous puzzles that you do, and then you have to bring them back in order to be able to complete like your end puzzle or whatever it is. Oh, those are fun. So much fun.
They did that in Waldo books too. Like, you'd get done, it'd be like, look for these on this page. And then I got done with the book, and I said, now go back and find these film canisters. I'm like, darn you, Waldo. You tricked me again. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so search and find a better Diablo Immortal and City Builders. Okay. I feel like my answer was an easy one for me, but I really like the idea of a City Builder too. Like that would be cool, because I played Urbex for a couple weeks, and then I eventually go back and play cities all the time, but that's also because I watched that. I've talked about him, the YouTuber City Planner Plays. Like he just inspired me to play City Skylines again sometimes. But he does it a fun way that I can't, because I'm not a city builder and I don't understand how those systems work. But boy, I can get those water systems down pretty well.
I'm gonna actually have to take a look at like some of his runs. Let me see.
Oh, they're long. They are long series, multiple videos.
Oh, I can't wait to check it out. It's gonna be great.
So, anything else for mobile games tonight?
Think so. Not for me.
Okay.
Not really. I mean,
I'm gonna be honest. I felt like we'd had more to say on mobile games than I thought we would. To be fair,
I agree.
Like,
I mean, unless I'm willing to try out Golden Goblins, which may be good. I don't know. I haven't tried it out yet. I'll give it a test and see how good it is. I've already played Ebony King's Return.
Yeah,
that game is awful.
I will say
it's
I played
so bad.
Last year I paid for like a text adventure game that was literally just you read a bunch of text and make decisions and that kind of stuff, and that was fun. I don't remember what it's called, but I
miss Wordscapes. I honestly miss Wordscapes so much. That was a true blue good game. Oh,
I don't know.
It was basically a crossword that used anagrams. Oh, it was phenomenal. Find as many words as you can using these letters, and then fill in the blocks. Oh.
Maybe a library? No. I'm trying to see if I can find like you can always find like past games that you've had on your Google Play thing, and I'm maybe if I find, but I don't. I use this stuff so little that I don't even know where I would begin to search. Games. Nope. My Scrabble word checker is apparently a game.
I had no idea.
I definitely have that. Oh my goodness. I found it. Oh no. No.
What did you find?
All of the games that I have uninstalled, which includes...
Whoa.
You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Baby Panda Care, Baby Panda Earthquake Care, Baby Panda Earthquake Savior, Baby Panda Home Safety, Baby Panda World, Baby Panda Carnival, Baby Panda's Coloring Mix, Baby Panda's Dinosaur World, Baby Panda's Fashion Dress. This is all from Emery, where she just installs a bunch of Baby Panda games.
Ripley is really on the Baby Panda on her Kindle.
My goodness.
Kids always take things way too far.
Yeah, I was getting tired of managing the storage on her Kindle, so I just bought a gigantic SD card to put in there so that she could just keep downloading her stupid games.
Yeah, there are so many like kid games on here. Holy cow. Deck Heroes, that's one I played for a while. It's another gotcha game. Oh, I am trying to find it. Where is it? Nothing is ringing a bell, though. Man, there's also a lot of games on here that I remember playing that I just installed for like a day and it's like, nope, I'm out. There it is. Hellfire the Summoning. I'm sorry. It's gone.
Oh, no. I remember when Fruit Ninja used to be on my phone.
Have I told you?
Much happened there.
Have I told you about my boss that would play Fruit Ninja during meetings?
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I hated it so much. He was...
You just hear though.
No, because there was a couple times where I know he was playing Fruit Ninja, and then he would just grill me about something like, where are we on this? I was like, we just talked about that for the past 5 minutes, dude. Like, if you weren't playing Fruit Ninja, you would have known. Like, what am I gonna, what else can I say? Like, what on earth? I have no idea. I'm looking through this whole list and I'm just like, I don't know. Of course, I'm having to filter through all these Baby Panda stuffs too.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Do you guys in the United States have rockets?
We have Smarties, but they're the same thing.
Oh.
Really? Wait, are you sure? Because these are they're like little pucks.
Yeah.
Sugar candy.
They come in the exact same package with the exact same logo, but it says Smarties instead of Rockets.
Really? Because up here we have Smarties, but they're literally just like candy coated chocolates. They're kind of like M&Ms.
Oh, I know.
They're like bigger but flatter.
Yeah, your guys' candy is a lot better.
We do like our candy.
The Aero bars. Oh my gosh. Oh, I wish we had those here.
I tell you what, I like Neckos, and no one else likes those that I know. See,
Neckos.
See, yeah, I like.
I've never heard of that before.
They're
what
they sell them at the same store where you get Mary Jane's and the little strawberry wrapped candies that have no brand. Werther's Originals. Like just all like the old people candy.
Oh, I love Werther's Originals. Those are great.
I mean, sure, people like those, but what the hell?
Although their chewy toffees, like their soft toffee, is really, really good. Oh my god, they do such a great job with their caramel.
I have a barcode scanner on here. That was for work. Apparently, that's labeled as a game. I don't know. Nothing in here really rung a bell on what it was. I know it was a text adventure game, and I was a ranger, and I played the whole story, and I have no idea what it was called. It's just hard to find it through all the Daddy's Mess Day Adventure, Daddy's Little Helper, whatever stupid games that she had. Oh, there's
Baby Panda Quest! Yay! I need to get the next Baby Panda game, Dad. Can you give me your credit card?
No, they're free. Baby Panda's free.
Baby Panda's all free.
Thank God.
Yes, thank God. Because there's like 100 of them.
There's my 3 different flashlight apps I've had over the years.
Flashlight apps?
Yeah. I had to get, or you turn on your flashlight on your phone.
You need an app for that?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my God. You poor soul.
There's the Hatchimals game. Man, I don't know. I thought it was like Hero something, but it's just not here. No idea. I give up. So, some text adventure game. It's not. I looked. It's not that. So, next week, for sure, I think we're going to be doing the quiz. And I think based on... Because the week after that's Thanksgiving, so that's all up in the air. But then the week after that's the next quiz, and I don't want to do 2 quizzes back to back. So we're going to be doing the quiz. Do you guys need a reminder on the years, or are you good?
I got the years.
I think I got it on here from the notes. Let me see. 1989, 1996, 2001, 2009, and 2015. I believe that is the correct years.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, and I have them all laid out so I can really quickly tell the years on so I can actually, like, when I'm deciding on the next year, just like, oh yeah, we just did that year. We're not doing that year. Like I've done a couple times on accident. So.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. So I am excited about this one coming up. It's not, I mean, I did put a lot of time into it, but like I was a lot more lax because the, various delays we've had, but, there's some interesting games on there. So.
We'll I cannot wait to lose. It's going to be very exciting.
You might have your day in the sun one time. I mean, Ace has managed to get 2 wins, right?
I think so.
It's true. It's true.
Chauncey said he's never coming back. He just doesn't feel it's fair.
We don't want to play with Chauncey anyway, so.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, he's just like,
I swear if he does come back, he's gonna have to do that signature Dwayne The Rock Johnson line. The Rock has come back to San Diego. Like he's got to pull out the full like wrestling. The champion is back.
I don't
ready to roll the competition.
I don't think you know him well enough. He would not do that.
Not even a Randy Macho Man Savage?
There would be something wrong with Chauncey if he was doing that.
Yeah, because he's so low energy. Like he would.
Chauncey, yeah, I don't know what to say. You need to up your caffeine and sugar intake, and come in here, snap into a Slim Jim. Just be like freaking Randy Macho Man Savage. Oh, yeah!
The only time he gets animated is when he boasts about his card pools.
Card pools?
Pools from buying Magic cards or... So, This past Friday, both a new Pokemon set and a Flesh and Blood set came out the same day. I bought 2 boxes of each. He bought 1 box of each. In the Flesh and Blood set, he pulled a $450 card. In the Pokemon stuff, they're about $110 a box. He pulled about $160 worth of cards.
Wow.
I did not on either out of double the amount of cards. Now, I did okay, and I actually got, they have these things called Marvels in the Flesh and Blood stuff that are like super rare printings of cards that come out now that are specifically more pricey and fancy looking. I got one, but it's literally the one I would not sell. It's the one I would use. So I was like, darn it. I'm not making my money back on this one. But we'll see. So yeah.
What a shame.
Yeah, he was gloating about this week, and I was just like, fuck you. Shut up. You're not allowed to talk about cards. And then he was like, man, should I even sell it? I'm like, yes, you should 100% sell it. The card he pulled. And he was like, well, I like the shiny. I want to keep it. And I was like, no, dude. You have no reason to keep it. A, you don't play enough to keep it. B, it's not even a viable playable card. It is literally just for people to collect. Like, there is nothing about this card that is going to be worth anything in the matter of weeks. You got to sell now.
Or Give it 20 years when it's finally out of print, and nobody has any idea how to get their hands on one because it would be a limited edition card. Kind of like, I don't know, Black Lotus.
Okay, but Flesh and Blood is not in the same place as Magic. This is going to be...
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, sell that Flesh and Blood card.
That is not a guarantee with Flesh and Blood. Magic, sure, you could do that. That's feasible. Flesh and Blood...
That's a long-term investment.
That's a gamble. That's a big gamble.
Yeah, forget Flesh... Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you should sell the Flesh and Blood card. 100%.
Yeah, because he will
have... If it were an MTG card, keep it.
He will have made money on it. There is no doubt. The card is only going to go down, in my opinion. So, yeah. Thanks, everyone, for watching and listening. Next week, we'll be back with the quiz. I know we said that 3 weeks ago now, but we'll be doing it for sure. I mean, we had things come up. It's fine. So we will be doing that, and then after that is the maybe Thanksgiving episode. We'll probably figure out something to do. Talk about our favorite Thanksgiving games, which there are none. So it's like the most
to be one.
It's like the most celebrated and forgotten holiday ever, in my opinion. And it's my favorite holiday, but like I know of exactly one Thanksgiving movie.
Son-in-Law.
No, I was talking about I can't even remember the name of it right now. But it's like a turkey who's a Thanksgiving turkey and goes back in time.
Thanksgiving is a Thanksgiving movie, and it's excellent for trash.
I love trash.
Well, you should watch it. It is amazing, hilarious trash.
Not as good as Tucker and Dale, I would assume. But
no, it's a terrible movie. It's like an hour long, but it's hilarious.
Freebirds.
I might actually have to go out of my way to watch Kung Fury. Apparently, it's been a while since I've actually seen it, but yeah, I do remember some scenes where the guy's like, "What year is it? What year have I been hacked into?" And then the guy's like, "You've been hacked into the Viking era." And the other guy, "Well, that explains the laser raptors or whatever." And then like, yeah, Triceracop, which is literally just a police cop with a Triceratops head.
Yes, I unironically love that movie, even though it's 20 minutes long. Kung Fury. It's on YouTube. Watch it. That is an official endorsement.
Worth the time.
No, Freebirds is the movie I was thinking of, where the turkey goes back in time to save turkeys from Thanksgiving. It's a kid's movie, but I like to watch it. Secret Agent Turkeys. So.
Oh my God.
It's just hilarious. So anyways, we will catch you guys next week, and yeah, that's it. Later.
Bye.
Take care.